Hey guys, what's up? Total Control 871 chiming in with a headline news brief. I'm going to start doing news briefs, very short videos covering basically one or maybe two topics. Who remembers? In my Orlando Memorial Edition, where I spoke of wanting to own a firearm while traveling abroad, while touring by bicycle and wanting to travel abroad with a firearm. I came across this story from NBC 10. It is entitled Grizzly Kills Mountain Biker Near Glacial National Park. Let's find out what it says here. A grizzly bear attacked and killed a 38-year-old mountain biker Wednesday as he was riding along a trail just outside Glacial National Park, Montana, authorities said. Brad Treat, T-R-E-A-T, Brad Treat and another rider were in the Half Moon Lakes area of the Flathead National Forest when they apparently surprised the bear, Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry said. The bear knocked Treat off his bike, and the second rider left to look for help, Curry said. Authorities found Treat's body at the scene, but not the bear. Wildlife and law enforcement officials were searching for the grizzly Wednesday evening. Treat was a law enforcement officer with the U.S. Forest Service. Brad was an integral member of our law enforcement team and a friend to us all, Curry said. Treat grew up in Kalispell, where he was an outstanding distance runner in high school. His former coach, Paul Jorgensen, told the Flathead Beacon newspaper he was really good. He was a really good runner, but he was also very kind-hearted, who cared a lot about people, Jorgensen told the Beacon. The second rider, who was not identified, was not injured. Authorities have closed the area, which is about 3 miles away from Glacial West entrance, for public safety. Grizzlies in the lower 48 states have been designated a threatened species since the 1970s, but their numbers are increasing, and so are conflicts between between humans and bears. The grizzlies in the glacial area are about 1,000 bears in the Northern Continental Divide ecosystem, which also includes the Bob Marshall Wilderness south of the park. At least 700 more grizzlies live in and around Yellowstone National Park, which is roughly 360 miles south of Glacier. 6 people have been fatally mauled by bears in the Northern Rockies since 2010. But those deaths are mainly in the Yellowstone area. Glacial officials say there are usually 1 or 2 non-lethal encounters between bears and humans each year inside the park. Before Wednesday, there had been 10 bear-related human deaths in Glacial since the park was created in 1910. The last was in 1998 when 3 bears killed and partially ate a park vendor employee while he was hiking. In the most well-known glacial attacks, bears killed 2 people in different parts of the night. In the most well-known glacial attacks, bears killed 2 people in different parts of the park in a single night in 1967. Those attacks became the subject of a 1969 book by Jack Olson titled Night of the Grizzlies, and later a documentary by the same name. So yeah, like I said, I very much indeed would like to have a firearm for the purposes of touring our more wilderness regions, But of course, you really don't know what, the laws vary so wildly. Simply crossing a state line, you could suddenly find yourself carrying a 10-year felony sentence, without you even really knowing or realizing it. This is why we have our Second Amendment. This is why I understand that grizzly bears don't live in every last single square mile of the continental United States. I'm well aware of this. I'm not even going to begin a massive long gun rant. I definitely can see both sides of the aisle very much indeed. I do understand that a lot of the types of weapon also attribute to the scope of the carnage, that, you know, were the type of weapon not readily accessible, that the scope of the carnage might have been mitigated. That being said, we do have a Second Amendment right. It's really pretty much a moot point. You're never going to dismantle the Constitution. It's a very slippery slope. Were liberals to dismantle the Second Amendment, then guess what? The conservatives are going to be right in back of them to dismantle all of the federal protections that go to protect women, minorities, gays, people of religious beliefs. It's a slippery slope. You're never going to do it, so it's a moot point. If you're allowed to have weapons, then you're allowed to have weapons, unless you have committed a crime. And none of this fucking Tom Cruise Minority Report shit, you know. Well, you might commit a crime, theoretically. Our Constitution and the Bill of Rights are not predicated on theory of what you think a person may or may not do. Now, either a person has committed a crime or they have not. It's just that simple. Alright, guys, I said I was going to keep it very, very short, and I'm going to do that. A lot more I could say, but I'm going to keep it short and to my point. Alright, guys, Total Control 871.